King and Katakuri, two powerhouses. The right-hand men of their respective Yonko, and both pirates with bounties over 1 billion. But what would happen if these two monsters came to blows? Well, in today's video, that's exactly what we'll find out. What's up guys, Versus Gambler here. And in today's video, I'm finally not talking about Sanji. Wait, you know what? Let me talk about Sanji real quick. I'm actually making this video because I wanted to come to the conclusion of who was the stronger Sanji victim. So the question at hand is, what would happen if the mysterious Lunarian of the Beast Pirates went against the donut-loving first commander of the Big Mom Pirates? So like always, make sure to like, subscribe, and watch until the end. Katakuri was introduced first and has more concrete scaling, so let's start with him. Going into strength, Katakuri was scaled well above the likes of Luffy at the beginning of their fight. I feel like this is a no-brainer as he would dominate in every clash they would have, even going as far as to imitate Luffy's attacks and make them stronger himself. Every single attack that he deals to Luffy does damage, and this isn't an understatement. His thrusting Mochi, a named attack with his weapon, literally wiped off almost half of Luffy. But his strongest move is definitely the buzz cut Mochi. When you get hit by it, you can't get out because it's sticky. Then he swirls you around and slams you into the floor. This does damage for real, but it doesn't really do the job to Luffy. Katakuri's speed, however, is great. Katakuri, again, completely outscaled Luffy at the beginning of their fight. In fact, he outscaled him in speed so much that he was able to make his Devil Fruit appear as a Logia. But we'll get more into that later. But something you want to notice though is the fact that as the fight goes on, Luffy is adjusting to Katakuri. Well, not really adjusting, but getting power-ups and getting faster. I say this because Katakuri stopped using his pseudo-Logia tactic, implying Luffy had gained speed comparable enough to Katakuri where he couldn't do much to avoid damage. Instead, now, all he could do is dodge and maneuver. But that is not to downplay Katakuri, however, because he is able to dodge and maneuver around Snake Man. Yeah, Luffy's faster transformation. When Katakuri isn't calm, however, that's when he shows his fraudulent side. Katakuri, because he's mad at Luffy for interrupting his donut time, has his haki turned off. With this in mind, Katakuri can't use his fake Logia form and has to resort to dodging or just protecting himself from attacks. This is where Luffy pulls up, clashes with Katakuri, then kicks bro in the face. What does this mean? Well, it means Katakuri is doo-doo water without observation haki. Even if he can adjust to the visions he sees, if he can't see the future, he's getting hit by people like base Luffy. Mad Katakuri is fraud Katakuri, so let's just ignore that dude. Something else I do want to mention in regards to speed is his use of a donut form to travel faster. This form got him to Luffy faster, and he uses it in tandem with Buzzcut Mochi to deal damage quick and fast. In the durability department, this is Katakuri's worst stat, like by far. Now, given the last section with speed, it should be known that Katakuri's fighting style doesn't revolve around tanking attacks at all. Instead, Katakuri is the type to finish fights quick with his speed and not get hit. For this reason, Katakuri's durability is absolute doo-doo. Now keep in mind that I'm talking about his base durability because when he's actually defending, meaning he's reacting to the attack, he has better durability. So alright, let's just go over the bad then end with the good. Katakuri's base durability is able to be bypassed by base Luffy. Yeah, remember that kick Luffy sent to Katakuri's chin? Katakuri bleeds out buckets. Luffy then went into Gear 4 and started actually taking the upper hand, overwhelming Katakuri, sending him flying and making him throw up more blood than Itachi in his final fight with Sasuke. Want to know something even worse? In like 10 chapters ago, I really don't remember which chapter it was, but Katakuri and his brother Oven got hit with hallucination gas. Now in my last Katakuri video, I try to say that what's happening here is Katakuri and Oven are fighting equally. But just know, I was possessed by the agenda. So I can safely say right now that they were not fighting equally, okay? But what I can't defend for Katakuri here is his durability. The hallucination gas made Katakuri think that Oven was probably Caesar or Germa, and vice versa. So with that in mind, Oven punches Katakuri and Katakuri is hurt. Even worse is that it's in the same manner as Katakuri hitting Oven. This is just another example of Katakuri's base durability just being very lacking and actually fraudulent. And for some reason people still think he's above Sanji, but I digress. However, when Katakuri is actually defending himself, there's a slight difference. Now, during the barrage of attacks from Luffy, Katakuri actually reacts to one attack and defends himself with 2 arms and haki. Damn, I was trying to make him look good. Despite this, Luffy still sends him flying, and on top of 2 arms plus haki being in the way, he's bleeding out buckets. But that's what I said. Katakuri is not a tanking character. He would much rather outspeed his opponents and not be hit. Now, given his insanely lacking durability, you'd think Katakuri's endurance matches it. Nah, it really doesn't. Even though Katakuri's durability is so ass that base Luffy and Oven can damage him, his endurance allows him to take multiple of these attacks and still keep on fight. Wait, I just remembered something. Hold on. Y'all remember this chart, bro? Yeah? Let's examine this again. For the people who don't know what this is, it's a chart of the hits Katakuri and Luffy landed in their fight. Luffy landed 13 hit-ups. Luffy hit Katakuri 13 times, but don't let this get to your head because these are from Gear 4. Give me a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay, let's ignore like regular endurance. Let's talk about his stamina, bro. He fought Luffy for 12 hours. I think we're good with that. Katakuri's hacks are probably the best stat here for him, so let's get into that. Katakuri is in possession of all three forms of Haki: Armament, Observation, and Conquerors. One of them he trains to the highest level, that being Observation Haki, allowing him to see into the future. Last time I talked about Katakuri, I said some shit about like looking into 5 seconds into the future. I really do not know where I got that from. I probably found it in some like Reddit. But anyways, his Armament Haki is actually on another level than Luffy, as he specifically says. Sometimes when he clashes with Luffy, he wins solely because his Armament Haki was better. Now, Katakuri doesn't have Conqueror's coding, so he's stuck at just using Conqueror's Haki to knock people out. His Observation Haki, like I said, allows him to see into the future. He uses his future sight in tandem with his special paramecia, the Mochi Mochi no Mi. What he basically does is see into the future to see where the attack is coming and shapes his Mochi body around it. This use of future sight along with his devil fruit allows him to appear to be a Logia. But like I said earlier in the video, it all depends on Katakuri's speed compared to the opponent. If Katakuri completely outclasses his opponent in speed, he can use his fake Logia technique. If his opponent is relative to him in speed, however, he can't use this technique and he's forced to dodge, maneuver, or even start blocking. But on the topic of devil fruits, he awakened it. He calls it flowing mochi, as he's able to transform the area around him to mochi as well. This could be useful against anyone relative to him in speed, even if they could fly. But now, I've finally finished scaling Katakuri. So now, we can go scale the most handsome dude in One Piece behind Sanji. King is a character lots of people like to downplay or highball, depending on who you're talking to. But in my scaling, I want to try my best to scale him properly. In strength, I can easily just say he's the strongest in the Beast Pirates other than Kaido. Stronger than characters like Ulti, who can clash, overpower, and damage post-Udon based Luffy. In my Sanji vs Katakuri video, I implied that Ulti was stronger than Katakuri. Or at least my comments were trying to say I was. All that you can actually pull from my argument without being biased against me or being disingenuous is that I said that Ulti can give Katakuri a good fight. Not bullshit like Ulti is stronger than Katakuri. I literally said Ulti cannot beat Luffy. But anyways, like I said, if you want to highball Ulti to the greatest extent possible, she would give Katakuri a good fight. And King scales above her by default. But this is a little bit too vague, so let's go over the feats of strength that we actually get to see. During Marco's 1v2 of King and Queen, King manages to slice off Marco's wing, to which he just regenerates. Now, Marco's durability feats are actual doo-doo water, like I mentioned in my video with Sanji vs Marco. So this feat is just a little taste of what King could do with a sword. But this is extremely suppressed. I say this because King is actually able to use flames in tandem with his sword, and he doesn't use it once there. As well as the fact that King can literally use his wings as blades. Blades so potent that it sends Zoro flying multiple times. In fact, one wing, even after clashing with an attack from 3 sword style Zoro, sends Zoro flying through the walls of Onigashima and makes him cough up blood. And in character, even after sending him flying, he takes advantage of this and attacks him once more after that. In chapter 1032, King sends this goofy ass attack Zoro's way, and Zoro says he couldn't even block it. Now, I'm not gonna lie here, I don't know what the hell happened, if Zoro dodged it or something, but hey, more points for King regardless. He actually uses it in the next chapter and it absolutely murks him. King can also use some kind of technique that allows him to blow himself up when he gets attacked directly. And Zoro openly admits that had he not used Armament Haki in the last second, he would have died. Honestly, just from these slight showings, I don't really think I need to waffle further about King's strength anymore. Honestly, I just want to save some so I could do Sanji vs King someday. King's speed is kind of weird. So to let you guys know, King has 2 forms. Flames On, where his durability is insane but his speed is lacking in comparison, and Flames Off, where it's the exact opposite. With Flames On, King isn't able to blitz Zoro, as Zoro is able to react to his attacks and clash with him. But when his flames are off, he becomes way faster. He actually at one point perception blitzes Zoro. Zoro has to get kicked to be able to find King with his flames off because he's so fast. And we know Zoro is able to react to things like Prometheus and perceive Thunder Baguas. I said his speed was weird because for some reason King is so dumb that even though he can move fast without his flames, he doesn't realize that once he blitzes someone, he can just switch back to flames on. As well as the fact that when he blitzed Zoro, he couldn't react to the sword swing. So I guess this is kind of a drag on King's battle IQ, but long story short, King with his flames off is crazy fast, being able to perception blitz Zoro. King with his flames on scales around Zoro. For durability, King is f***ing crazy. Going back to it, we have two forms of King, one with good durability and one with less durability. With flames on, King is able to completely tank a Conqueror's coded attack from Zoro, even making him comment that it wouldn't even make a scratch. With his flames off, however, he's getting absolutely obliterated by Conqueror's Haki attacks. But the fact that King can take a Conqueror's Haki attack is good in its own right, given that the form is actually meant to be lacking in durability. When he's on flames on mode, don't f with him. But before that, let's clear up a common misunderstanding. People think King's durability is higher than Kaido's because Zoro cut Kaido with Dragon Twister, but it did no damage against King. This is actually so disingenuous as it literally says that King is defending himself. So this is a case of comparing defense to base durability. So in this case, yes, Flames on King with defense is more durable than Dragon Form Kaido with no defense. This however is still impressive for King. We know that Kaido's Dragon Form durability takes 0 damage from Luffy at the beginning of Wano. So in turn, this means that King can easily replicate this by defending, if you want to downplay him, that is. And guess what a weaker gear for Luffy did to the other opponent? Shit not looking good. And for his endurance is kinda butt. He takes 3 attacks from Zoro's and disconnects. King's hacks. Well, for starters, he has observation haki and armament haki. His observation is kinda lacking. He couldn't sense Sanji in his invisible state. Something Sanji literally does against Queen when he does the same thing to him. His armament haki isn't really expanded on at all, and for some reason, I just noticed this, hold up. King doesn't utilize armament haki in its weaker durability state. I genuinely think King is one of the dumbest fighters we've ever seen in One Piece. But other than that, he can conjure flames on his back. He can use them on his sword to create literal magma dragons. Use them to enhance his punches and kicks. Can we guess where he got that from? But with all that said, I've scaled both fighters. So the final question to go over is, who would win in the fight? Well, let's find out. Same rules as always. This time, these two will fight in Tokyo Colony 2. Again, I do not know why, but we'll go with it. Whoever gets knocked out or dies first, loses. So let's go and simulate the fight. Play the Budokai music. The fight will start and Sanji disappears. Wait, we're not talking about Sanji here. Damn. Let's retry that. The fight will start and whoa, King just flew away. I would like to make it known that King switches up his fighting style when he wants to. Sometimes he flies in the air and shoots random BS, or he comes up close and uses his sword. Katakuri tries to use his power mochi to reach King, but King easily dodges it. King then uses whatever this goofy ass attack is and hurts Katakuri, like thrusting mochi on Luffy hurt. He tries to catch King with buzz cut mochi, but King burns it with Imperial Fire Dragon. King starts to feel bad, so he appears in front of Katakuri. Katakuri tries to hit him with thrust mochi. Direct hit. King explodes and Katakuri got hit. Now he's in critical condition, so King takes out his sword, flies into the air, and sends a final attack. Imperial Guardian Fire Dragon. Damn, them donuts are cooked. In conclusion, King slams Katakuri with relative ease. Katakuri doesn't have the speed, strength, durability, or hacks to keep up with the last full-blooded Lunarian. I hope you guys enjoyed me finally not talking about Sanji, and if you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.